check. 1, 2. Is this thing on? There we go. Let's see. We are looking live view of the nearly full moon. About 50 hours until it's full. I think it's at 3:55 a.m. Eastern on the 9th, which is Saturday. But Friday night into Saturday, you'll be closer to full moon than Saturday itself. So let's do this. We got a good view tonight. It's looking really, really spiffy. Let's see here. How's our max out? That looks nice. Might want to rotate. That's what we'll do. I'm gonna try to rotate this a little. See how this works. It gives us a little better of an alignment of upside down world. And check our zoom. And needs adjusted. Okay. Now our ultra zoom. A lot better than last night, I'll tell you that. Definitely better than last night. Where did the comments go? Hello, welcome in. How you guys doing? Can you guys chat? Is chat working? Test it with some purple hearts. I haven't seen any chat yet. I see people coming in. Okay, Carl works. That works. Hey Sean, how you doing? We got a good view tonight. Got some loud peepers though. We do have some loud peepers. We got a good view. It's not so hazy tonight. There's some wildfire smoke, but it's not as bad as last night. That haze was so bad. That was so rough, you know. It's still bright in Alberta, and we're expecting several storms. Ooh, I hope the storms aren't too bad. That top seems a little off. Maybe this will help. Yeah, that seems to be better. How's the bottom? Bottom seems a little discolored, but I think we're pretty lined up. Pretty well lined up for some Luna tonight. What do you guys think? Oh, Tim, that's wild. So what's a strange thing? Well, I guess it's 2025. Nothing shocks anybody anymore. Alberta there too? Nice, Carl. Hey, butterfly girl. Got the moon tonight through an 8-inch Dob, the Orion XT8. I think I put the make and model in the description of the video tonight, and I also put the invite to my Discord in the description, guys. We're growing our Discord community, and where we help each other out, getting telescopes and astronomy questions and all that fun stuff. So if you're interested in getting into this hobby, check out the Discord, or if you just want to know what kind of telescope I have, it's in the description. Orion XT8. Hello, everybody. The moon's going to be full in like just a couple days, just over 2 days. So they say it's the 9th, which is Saturday. However, 3:55 a.m. Saturday is the moment of full. So Friday night, the 8th, into Saturday, will be the night to check out the full moon. Because when Saturday night rolls around, you're pushing near where it's just going to start waning again. Hey, finally caught me live. I'm glad you're here. Welcome in, everybody. Be sure to like and sub if you like space and astronomy. If it's your first time here, my name's Nate. I do space and astronomy content, and then I do live astronomy, which you're doing right now. You guys are looking through my telescope at the nearly full moon right now. Now, I did move locations so that if we end up partying too hard, then maybe in a little while we can check out Saturn if it rises. But I think we're still like 3 hours from Saturn. I don't know if we'll be on that long. But if we're partying, we'll see. We'll see how long this goes. But yeah, share this to anybody you know that likes space. I love to share the night sky with you guys. Tomorrow, Atolia, is the sun. The sun has gone down. It's dark now. I'm in Pennsylvania. Yeah, this is live. I can't command the sky. If I could command the sky, I would always have clear skies. I would always have a perfect view. You know what I mean? Where's everybody here tuning in from? I'm in Pennsylvania. And look at this Terminator line tonight. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm going to back out a little and bring it back in like this so we can get a little wider field of this area. A little bit left up there to wax over. Now this image is upside down. Jersey, Wales, Minnesota, Chicago, Maine. Nice. A little bit left to wane over, but it looks pretty cool in there. There's a couple little pieces that are lit up out in the darkness. Delaware. Chattanooga. I love Chattanooga. Chattanooga's so much fun. Barbecue down there. Man, can't beat it. You just can't beat it. You know. I'm using an Orion SkyQuest XT8, guys. It is an 8-inch Dobsonian telescope, about 4 feet long, 1219 millimeter focal length. And we're checking out the moon right now. And I have a Celestron 8 to 24 millimeter zoom eyepiece. So I'll show you right now. Right there, that was a pinch zoom. So I think, okay, this is zoomed all the way out, all right? This is out at 24 millimeters on the eyepiece. So I'll take it from 24 to 8 right now. This is optical. This is not a digital zoom or pinch. Okay, so that's to 8 millimeters. Then I can do just pinch on the screen here on the YouTube live to get us in close. Like I think YouTube does like an 8x, but once you get in too close, it's just blowing up pixels. But it looks a little better when you're on the edge and you zoom in way more, you know what I mean? So like, let's try to get this and see what this looks like when we go way in. Yeah, a little bit better because there's more to grab onto there on the edge. See all that waviness and stuff? That's atmospheric disturbance. Yeah, that's just our atmosphere. We have a really low moon this month. Super low in the sky. Anybody notice that? The moon's just low in the south. Lancaster, nice. Southern hemisphere. So this probably looks like the moon for you because this telescope, the eyepiece does flip the moon. So this is probably what the moon looks like in the southern hemisphere, huh? You guys want screenshots? Go ahead and take a screenshot. Maybe share it to somebody. Be sure to like and sub, guys. I do space and live astronomy. And if you're interested in this kind of thing, consider subscribing. I also have a Discord community. You can find in the description the invite. And it's all about space and astronomy stuff. Pretty fun stuff. Yeah, Tycho crater up top is massive. It's really big. Let's actually go into Tycho crater up here. You see the ejecta lines from it? Now this is a stationary telescope, by the way, guys. That movement you're seeing of the moon, that's Earth rotating. We're gonna zoom in on Tycho up there. See what kind of views we can get. All right, so see those long lines shooting out of that crater up there? Going all the way down across the moon? Those are, some people call those like highways and stuff. They're not, they're ejecta lines from that Tycho impact. That must have been a huge asteroid, I think 17 miles across, that impact. And some of the debris from there escaped the lunar gravity, actually came over to Earth, came through our atmosphere, landed here on Earth, and we can find them and you can actually purchase them. They're called lunar meteorites, and some of them are from that crater right there. So you can kind of buy a piece of the moon, but it's been meteorited or whatever. Yeah, we move fast. That's the movement you're seeing. That's us rotating. Because the Earth rotates in a direction, the same direction that the moon is orbiting Earth. So we're spinning faster than the moon's orbiting us. Chance we see a planet, maybe late tonight. Maybe if the skies stay clear tonight, I'll do a Saturn stream. That won't be till like probably 2 a.m. Eastern, maybe 1 a.m. The skies seem, if they stay the way they are right now, maybe 1 a.m. Eastern tonight. So yeah. You're welcome, guys. I'm glad you enjoy it. YouTube's the YouTube group. You guys are the best. There you go. If you want a screenshot, there's a nice screenshot of the moon. You got the peepers going. You know, it's a good vibe tonight. Fly me to the moon. You love seeing this type of content. Awesome, Kimberly. Glad you're here. You guys like space and astronomy stuff, which astronomy is just, you know, the study or observation of things in the night sky, you know, out in space. Consider subscribing to the channel. I go live frequently whenever I have clear skies. And I also make a bunch of short videos. And pretty soon I'm launching a series this fall, Exploration Earth and Space, which is pretty elaborate, long format videos that I think you guys will really enjoy. I'm the best content on live shorts, thanks. I appreciate that. A couple years ago, I didn't know anything about like doing live streams and stuff like this. I've kind of, you guys got me hooked to it. It's your fault because you guys are really cool and awesome. I learned a lot from you guys. I can get paid to look at space. You most certainly can. You can get paid to do anything you want. You just got to find the right angle. I'm using an Orion XT8 Dobsonian telescope, 1219 millimeters. It's about 4 feet long, 8-inch diameter. Eyepiece is a Celestron 8 to 24 millimeter zoom, and a tridiopter phone mount, and an iPhone tonight. I do have a variety of phones, though. Sometimes I do other ones. But the iPhone tends to work best with the Celestron eyepiece. You're welcome, Randy. Your telescope reflector on a Dobsonian base. That's basically what this is like a Newtonian on a Dobsonian base. Great to know that Moon is actually tidally locked. It is, yeah. It's been like that for a long time. Is there anywhere in the US that you can get above the inversion layer or something? I was talking to a solar astrophysicist today, and I might go out to Denver and hike up a 14,000 foot mountain and do a live stream up there with you guys of the sun and maybe like the moon from the top of the mountain. So like we're real like less atmosphere, you know. See what kind of details we get. We thought it would be pretty cool because I have like a mobile internet piece, satellite internet thing, and then like the telescope. I would probably take like a smart telescope and a solar telescope, and then like I don't know whatever else I could fit on my back. Because we'd hike up, you know. I think that'd be pretty cool. Because I've never been on top of a mountain doing astronomy. Like get as high as you can. You know what I mean? Yeah, him and I were talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah." And then tomorrow, Dr. Ryan French, he's the solar astrophysicist. Him and I are going to do a live stream together, Q&A for people on basically the sun, anything to do with the sun. That is his job. He's an authority in the matter. He works with the satellites and stuff, processes the data. Super nice guy. So we're going to do a Q&A live tomorrow, probably around this time, maybe a hair earlier. Like 8 or 9, 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Hey, thanks, Jason. A friend of yours recently went up the volcano with his telescope to do some astrophotography. Amazing content. Yeah, I've seen a few people get up really high and just with like regular telescope stuff, not like the super high end things, and get just amazing shots because you have so much less atmosphere to go through. And I'm like, I gotta try it. I'm not gonna be happy until I do it now. There's Tycho crater, just awesome. Now, if you see the little light craters, those tend to be younger. The darker ones tend to be older. And then those large dark regions, those are ancient lava beds. You don't really find the lava beds on the far side of the moon. The Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter has mapped the whole moon, and you can like actually like see all around it on there. And you can see the far side just doesn't have the giant lava beds like it does on this side. Hey, thanks, Oric. Like these right here. Sea of Tranquility, Sea of Serenity, Sea of Crisis. Top upper left dark area, right at the top of it, there's a little dot. Right near there is Apollo 11 landing site. Now, if anybody was here the other day, here's that mountain range. Look how it's disappearing now that it doesn't have shadows. It just disappears into the lunar surface. And that's why they say, like, it's better to photograph the moon during like waxing, like crescent phases, up to like first quarter where it looks like a taco. But once it gets close to full, the shadows are all gone and it all gets kind of wishy-washy. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can barely tell that's a huge mountain range right there. It's like you can see the arc of it, but nothing like the other day, you know? Oh, they can, okay, so you can hold the screen and turn off live chat if you guys want screenshots, guys. And please feel free to take screenshots, you know? I'm sharing this for you guys. I'm giving you guys my telescope tonight. That's how my lives roll. Or yeah, how they roll. Um, I'll zoom in, I'll zoom out, back and forth, and we'll check out the different areas. But seriously, you're looking through my telescope. Take as many pictures as you want. I'm in the description. I have the make and model of telescope, Orion XT8, the and then just a phone and a phone holder with a nice eyepiece. This is my go-to rig for the moon. It's a beautiful planetary telescope that the moon views are amazing. Now that really bright crater coming across in the middle, that's my favorite. Because if I can't dim on here, but when like if I zoom out and like start to dim down the moon with like the exposure slider or whatever on your phone or whatever, that's the last thing illuminated. It looks like a freaking light, that little thing. It looks like a light. It looks really cool. I think I just made a video about that too. The last moon video short I posted, I showed that how much that looks like a light. Now look how there's not much left on the terminator line. Terminator line is where the light meets the shadow part of the moon. So it's waxing over to full moon. We got about 50 hours, 60 hours, 54 hours, something like that. No, 52? I don't know. I can't think. 52 or 54 hours until full moon. It is at 3:55 a.m. Eastern on Saturday morning or Friday night. So the official night of the new moon is, they're saying Saturday, but just remember, it actually is full. It's more full Friday night than it will be Saturday night because it's closer to that 3:55 a.m. Saturday. It'll start to wane by Saturday night. But it does appear full to your unaided eye just looking at it 24 hours before and after that moment of full moon. But as you can see here, there's not much left to wax over, you know? That was from Earth Bro Science. Canada here. Hello, Cynthia. How you doing? All right, I'll zoom out now. Hey, I keep getting asked about telescope, guys. It's in the description because I don't want to make the entire dialogue me repeating the telescope. But it's a 8-inch Dobsonian. So if you see people ask, just let them know, check the description of the live. I put it down there for y'all, as well as our Discord. If you want to join a Discord community of astro people, check it out. All right, there should be a good screenshot. Ooh, look at those little stripes of clouds up here. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Why does everything look so much cooler through a telescope? It just does. I don't know. There you can see the slight like burgundy, maroon tones and a little bit of blue tones that are actually on the moon. It's very, very subtle colors. Did you guys see the bird fly across? I saw it. Where's my mods? Pixie, you're here, right? Wait, do we got trouble? Do we got trouble in here? We got people causing trouble. Who do I need to nuke from orbit? And the funny thing is, it's hide user from channels, so they never even get notified that they're muted and blocked. They'll continue talking for years and years, but they'll never know that none of us see anything they say. Nobody's living there. Isn't that cool? Yeah, guys. feel free to share this out. Be sure to like the live and maybe subscribe if you like space and astronomy stuff. Um, I do this all the time. I show the sun, the moon, the stars, and the planets. Tonight, the moon, and maybe later on Saturn after in like 4 hours. Yeah, YouTube is great with it because you just hide user from channel and they're not notified about it. They can go to all your videos, they can say comments in lives and everything else. But you know what? None of us will ever see them on my channel ever again. But they see themselves. It's so great. I love YouTube for that. It's so sneaky. And then the other thing is it makes it impossible for them to like report and stuff like that. I do zoom in and out. I zoom in, zoom out. I go back and forth. Right now I'm zooming out and then I go zoom in. Please don't spam. You spam one more time, I swear. Because I don't know if you know this, but I really like muting people. Like, it's a favorite pastime of mine. Mainly because it's, this isn't meant to be a stressful live stream, you know? There's no reason to get upset. We're just checking out the moon through a telescope. Chill out, eat a moon pie, have a 7-Up, you know what I mean? It is upside down. It looks upside down because it is. The telescope flips the image upside down. Some telescopes don't do it, like a lot of refractors and stuff. We're going to zoom in now. A lot of refractors and stuff will keep the image exactly as you see it. This just 180s it. So if you just flip your phone upside down, your orientation is back the right way, you know? You turned your phone upside down, PC gamer? That's what I do. When I'm recording my shorts and stuff, I just rotate it upside down so it's back to normal when I'm editing. I just can't do it live on mobile anyhow, you know? Sean, I'm not seeing any big trouble in here. It's okay, man. I think we're all right. I think I can handle it. I'm not seeing much at all. If you look in the description, Abby, it's an Orion XT8. You can also kind of, I do have a website too that has all the info on it if you want to get into it. Man, that looks cool. See how cooler the craters look when they got shadows going across them on the top right there? When it just gets full moon, it's just all washed out, you know what I mean? California. Where's everybody tuning in from? I'm in Pennsylvania. My name's Nate. I go by SunshineNate online. I do space and live astronomy content. If that's your jam, sub and like the live. Subscribe and like the live, guys. I do have a Discord, an astronomy Discord. It's in the description, the invite, Tennessee, Australia. Nice. Tampa Bay, Canada, PA. Hello, neighbor. Rio Grande. Nice. Ooh, I saw Japan. Texas, very cool. Ooh, we got a little bit of haze. A little bit of haze coming along. We can handle that haze. Look at that. So that movement you're seeing is Earth's rotation. This is just a stationary telescope, Arkansas, England, New York, Mexico. So the stationary telescope isn't motorized and tracking it. So we actually get to see Earth rotating is the movement you see. Texas, California, New Mexico. Show us the aliens. Be sure to like the live, guys. If you like space and astronomy, consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. Morocco. No UFOs yet, but if you look at my channel posts, I put up the weirdest thing I ever saw through this telescope, okay? My latest channel post on my page, my YouTube channel page. I made the post there with the video so you guys can go find it. Because I do get asked that a lot, like, what's the strangest thing you've ever seen, you know? Hey, thank you, Liam. I really appreciate it. you know? See, as we zoom in, if we zoom in much more, it's just blowing up pixels and it gets kind of fuzzy. See what I mean? It gets kind of hard to see anything at this point. And each of those pixels is a few miles across. So if that gives you an estimation of scale, you know, people always want to know if you can like zoom into a flag or the Apollo stuff. Hey, Sun God. I'm in Pennsylvania. And we're checking out the moon. It's got a haze to it right now. Pretty wild. We can fix that up. It'll probably clear out soon. Wonder if that's the wildfire smoke tonight. Dawson, thank you very much. Your phone can zoom in more. I'd like to see that picture. I really would. Because the thing with phones that they don't have, and it's impossible for them to have, is focal length. I got a 4-foot long reflector telescope. So it's like 8 feet of dark tube magnification focal length stuff. So a phone has what? 1/4 of an inch, if that? Probably way less, huh? So you don't get any depth with it. Here on the edge, you can really start to see. Hold on, we're going this way. Back this out. There we go. There we go. That's looking pretty good. I can show you max zoom. It'll be a little ugly, but hold on. If humans were to put a base on the moon, where in the moon would most likely be placed? Great question. And on the Sea of Tranquility, I believe is where they found it, right here. This dark area, right here, okay? On this area of the moon, they found a moon cave. Now, they actually got the data for it like years and years ago, okay? Years and years, but they just recently got around to actually processing the data, and they found a moon cave, and they were like, that would make the perfect moon base. Then you're protected from the solar stuff, the solar winds constantly bombarding the lunar surface, as well as the small asteroids and stuff that are constantly hitting it, all those particles. Where here on Earth, we just get shooting stars because we have an atmosphere, right? But there in the moon, it doesn't have that, so it's getting just hit by it all the time. But I believe it's in the Sea of Tranquility right there. They found a moon cave, a cave on the moon that would make a perfect place for a base. I hope that answers your question. And thanks for the I think that's a super chat, right? How much does it cost for this telescope? About $650 US. But getting a decent telescope, usually just a couple $100. I would avoid big box stores always because those are just garbage, you know. If it's not a telescope store or company that you're getting it from, it's just like a Walmart or something, there's probably something wrong with it that you're not going to be happy with it. Can you look at the sun? Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be doing the sun. But it's nighttime right now, so I can't see the sun. Unless I had like, it'd be cool to have some, maybe we'll do a live sometime with some astronomers around the world. I've done that before, and we have astronomers around the world all together so you can see different views. Like I've done it live with somebody in Australia, and my moon, my telescope flips it, right? Like I told you, my moon's upside down for us in the Northern Hemisphere, but the person in Australia had the moon looking the same way, but theirs was not flipped. That's the way it looked. It was pretty cool. And we just like, you know, two sides of the earth, how are you seeing the same moon? Well, like as we can see right now, at least in Pennsylvania, the moon is super low to the south. So therefore, if I traveled south all the way to the opposite side of the earth, the moon would probably be visible. It's just weird like that. Welcome in, guys. My name's Nate. I'm in Pennsylvania. And I do space and live astronomy content. This is the kind of stuff you like. Subscribe. drop a like on the live. Liking the live really helps, guys. So if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. Even if you don't want to subscribe to me, you can at least give me a like. Looks like a peeled orange. I 100% agree. That. I've always said that. The sun looks like an orange, and the moon looks like a peeled orange. 100%. I see people from PA. Welcome, neighbors. Yeah, this is real, Emily. Have you seen Yeah, I've seen Astrobiscuit. Spain and Mexico. Wow, guys. Got people from all over here. It's pretty cool. Peru. Very cool. Saturn. If I do Saturn, it's going to be in a few hours. It hasn't even risen up in the east yet. Saturn rises in the east around midnight local times, and maybe like good through a telescope around 2:30 a.m. And it's 10 p.m., 10:03 p.m. here where I'm at. So we got some time before I can do any planets. Still sunset in Phoenix. Nice. Hey, Scotland, how you doing? Good to see you. Strangest thing I've ever seen, I have a video posted on my channel posts. Where on my channel you can go like videos, shorts, live, and then there's posts. If you go to posts, the latest post, I put the video there, the strangest thing I ever saw for everybody. Way easier to do it that way than to try to tell you how to search for it. But you can search YouTube SunshineNate object, and I think it's like it's usually within the first 5 results on shorts. Philippines, Northern Cali. Nice, guys. Be sure to like the live, maybe subscribe if you're interested in space and astronomy. Tonight we're checking out the moon. I'm hoping we get a plane or a satellite across, because I've yet to be live with the moon at this part in the sky where it's at right now. I've usually waited till later. And this part of the sky where it's at is a heavy traffic for planes and stuff over there. So we might get to see a plane fly between us and the moon. Those are really cool. ISS, I didn't check when the ISS transits are tonight. I think there's at least 1 or 2. You can't find the strangest thing video? Do you know where to find my channel posts? It was an orb that came down across the screen. My guess was a balloon, but it was the strangest thing I'd ever seen. But I'm guessing like a weather balloon or something. It wasn't a plane, wasn't a bird, wasn't a bug, wasn't a satellite, because we've seen all those. Those all move differently. But if you go to my channel, thanks for subscribing, guys. If you go to my channel page, you can find my posts tab. It's like text posts and stuff I do every day. I put it there today because I knew tonight people would ask, what's the strangest thing? And I can describe it to you, but it's better you just go see it for yourself, come back and let me know. Shout out to Florida. Hey, South Africa and Michigan. Welcome in, guys. Northern Cali, welcome. So the movement's caused by Earth's rotation, as well as we got that low moon right now. So if you look along that top edge, you got a lot of waviness going on, right? It's like weirdly distorted. That's from the gases in our atmosphere. And when it's low like that, you see a lot of it. Now, the sun and the moon and stuff, when they're real low, like at sunset and the sun's like right on the horizon, it's like super mirage-y distorted, you know? This is like the first 30 degrees up off the horizon, you get this wibble wobble look. It gets better the higher you go, but objects straight up in the sky, England and Australia, Arizona, North Carolina, nice. Straight up in the sky, you'll get really crispy, and you don't usually get that unless you have like really bad like weather conditions, like really humid, muggy, or wildfire stuff. You'll get that when you're looking straight up. But usually on a clear night, the objects straight up are really crisp, and that's where you want to photograph them and stuff. And when they're low on the horizon, they get a little more difficult because they're so they call it atmospheric disturbance, but I call it distorted. They just look distorted. Oklahoma, lots of people. I'm in Pennsylvania. Be sure to subscribe and like the live, guys, if you're into space and astronomy. And if it's your first time here, my name's Nate. I go by SunshineNate online. I love space, I love astronomy, I love telescopes. And what we're doing is we're just checking out whatever we can see in the night sky. And I do this frequently. It's not always the moon. Right now we're going into full moon, and this is like the best object to see right now. I also do galaxies, nebula, deep sky stuff with astrophotography. I do planets, the sun with solar filters, and stars too. And we might hit a star tonight if I didn't park my butt right with a tree between us. Maybe there's another star we can hit. There's Vega up there. We'll probably hit a star tonight on this live stream. Those are always fun. Some craters are really deep. I think one of the mountain ranges, I don't know if it's this mountain range right there that you can barely see because it's all washed out right in the center, that arc up into the right, that's a mountain range. I think the tallest mountain on the moon is like 15,000 feet. And then craters go down thousands of feet, some of them, you know? And down here, this little dark circle, that's Plato. I think I was calling it Pluto last night or the night before. Yeah, last night. I was calling it Pluto for some reason. I had a brain fart. It's Plato. Plato crater. So you can go make fun of me in my last night's live stream that I was calling it Pluto crater. My brain was fried. Yesterday was such a long day. It was like a 22-hour day for me. And I was trying to do a live late at night, and I'm just like, that's a moon pimple. Meteor shower. I don't do meteor shower live streams just yet because I don't have the right camera. My camera doesn't pick them up. I have a DSLR and I need a new one. So I'm gonna buy a new camera soon. But on the 12th, the Perseids peaks up to 90 meteors an hour. I'll be outside watching them. And I'm gonna try the camera I have to see if I can get like a good view. And if it works, if the camera's like getting a good view, or my GoPro 13. The new GoPro 13 has some decent night view, but I'm gonna try the DSLR. If I get the right settings and it looks good, yes, I'll go live with it. But right now I don't have a lot of confidence, so I don't wanna promise you guys that. I would rather get like a mirrorless camera or like the A7, Sony A7 or something like that. So I'm gonna get a new camera. The DSLR I have is really old. It's an old Canon Rebel, you know? No, you can't see the flag through this telescope, but that is the Earth spinning is what you're seeing there, that movement. Stationary telescope. The moon it doesn't look so orange here. It did when it rose though. It's up pretty, as high as it's gonna be, and it's just got like a very, very light peach color to it. The lower it goes yellow, and then it gets orange, and then almost red when it's close to the horizon. It's the atmosphere scattering the light. There we go. We'll come up here across Tycho crater. That impact was huge. Could you imagine watching something like that impact the moon? Just boom. Be insane. Arkansas. Hi, Sherry. I'm using an 8-inch Dobsonian telescope. I have the make and model and description of the live. It's so cool on your TV. Yeah, I've been doing vertical live streams. I don't know if you can rotate these widescreen for yourselves or not. It'd be cool as a viewer if you could like rotate the live. That would really help the astronomy community a lot. But yeah, that's Tycho crater. And look at those ejecta lines going, like, how far do they go? They just keep going all the way down the moon, don't they? That must have been a crazy impact. For the new camera, thanks so much for the live. Jean Henslick, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's very generous of you. And yes, it'll go right towards it. Merzine, do you use a lens-based telescope or a mirror-based telescope? This one is a mirror. I have a bunch of telescopes though. I do have lens-based ones, refractors. This is a reflector. I have the Dobsonian. This is like, a Dobsonian is a Newtonian with a Dobsonian base. So a Newtonian is a big old light bucket tube with the eyepiece on the side. You know, that's what this one is. Then I have a Schmidt Cassegrain, the Celestron 8SE on a tracking mount. That's an 8-inch Schmidt Cassegrain. That one's pretty cool. Um, that's a reflector. Then I have a an Astrotech AT72 ED2 doublet refractor telescope. It's like a 72 millimeter, really nice for astrophotography. Those are my three go-tos, and then I have the Skywatcher EQM35 Pro mount tracker. So like I got like the two trackers, then I got a smart telescope that's a tracker, then I got this one that is stationary, but like look at the views, it's insane. And then I have, yeah. See, when I ramble about the gear, guys, the audience just disappears out of the live. So I'm not gonna ramble about gear too much. The audience disappears when I do. Because I could go on all night about the gear. Best thing, if you want to talk gear, check the description for an invite to my Discord. Hey, North Bay area. I'm in Pennsylvania. Where are you all tuning in from? I'm gonna have a sip of water. Thank you, Luna. Luna, watching Luna. Awesome. Thank you. All right. I'm seeing people, a lot of people from the United States, watching from SoCal, Detroit, Michigan. All right. So why can I see the moon during the day sometime, then other times I can't? Does that mean that the other side of the Earth had a new moon or no moon? No, we all see the same moon. We all see the same. Ooh, what was that? Uh, Going on a mountaintop, 1,000 meters in altitude helped get more crisp image. Yes, and I was talking to a solar astrophysicist today about doing that. Maybe going out to Colorado, climbing a 14,000 foot mountain, and doing some live streams from up there. I'd do something just like this from on top of a mountain with you guys. We're trying to figure out how to do it and how to hike up there with all that gear, because not a lot of people do that. But no, we see the same side of the moon, but the moon orbits Earth, okay? And then Earth is also rotating. And it's orbiting Earth in the same direction Earth is rotating. But as you can see here, the movement you're seeing is us rotating faster than the moon's orbiting us. Okay, so we're spinning faster. But every 29.3 days, the moon makes one orbit around Earth. Even though Earth is spinning that whole time, because the Earth does 29 rotations in one orbit of the moon. That is, everybody's seeing the same moon because it's tidally locked to Earth. But the other thing is, while it orbits Earth, it's also rotating in reference to the sun. And that's the lunar phases we see, okay? So consider somebody holding a basketball in front of them, arms straight out with a basketball. They're looking at it, right? And you're standing there looking at them from the side. So they stand there and they do a 360 spinning around while staring at the basketball. They only ever see one side of the basketball. But you're the sun looking at them. You got to see all sides of the basketball. That's how that's how the moon rotates reference to the sun, and it rotates once every orbit of Earth. So its day is the same as its year. It's pretty wild. Hope that made sense. Hey guys. How can people believe in a lot of things? But they do, you know? And I don't really, it doesn't really bother me. I don't get triggered by it. I people are people. They can think and feel and do whatever they want. I'm all about that. It's only when people become jerks, then I just nuke them from orbit, if they're mean. Just, I mean, life is pretty simple. All you have to do is just not be an a-hole, you know? That's all you have to do in life. It's pretty simple. You got one job. Just don't be an a-hole, you know? Isn't that cool? Yeah. It's looking pretty good tonight. I think I'm on the wrong magnification. Yeah, I'm on the wrong magnification. Hold on. Let's do this to get the, there we go. That'll be a little more crisp. Use the optical zoom before the pinch zoom, always. The optical is going to be much cleaner because it's actual analog zoom, where the digital just blows up pixels, just makes the pixels bigger. What do you think about the object coming towards Earth from the center of the Milky Way? They said towards the galactic center. I wouldn't say exactly the center, but 3i Atlas, I have a few videos on. I was with a PhD in particle physics, Jorge. Did a video with him the other day, and he went through the preprint paper and all of that. So I encourage you to go check out that short I made on it. There's two shorts. I think if you watch the latest one just a few videos back, that should recommend the one before that too. And that kind of goes over all of it. Celestial Dab is all about celestialism. Smiley, you see a smiley face, Ray Ray? What do you guys see in the moon? You guys see anything cool? Let me know. Thanks for liking the live, and if you like space and astronomy, be sure to subscribe. I go live as often as I can when I have clear skies. YouTube's my favorite crew. You guys are always the best. But at the same time, you guys are also the most misbehaved at times. It's weird. It's weird on here. But the other apps, it's like, there's a lot of like moderate misbehavior. But here it's like, you're all amazing. And then we just get like, who is that person? Just like being pure craziness. You love the cricket sounds? Nice. Towards the bottom of the big white section. The white section up here or towards the bottom of the moon down here? All right, we'll go across here. Let's see if you can point it out, Ray Ray. Where's the smiley face? Anybody else see it? I think this is the area. Full moon, Friday night into Saturday morning. 3:55 a.m. Eastern on Saturday morning. Sort of like junior high. Yeah. That's the kind of viewers you get. You know, you get on YouTube, you're getting all ages, you know, all ages. And I try to keep it clean on lives the best I can, but the later at night it goes, the more tired I get. And if I get hangry, no promises, okay? Usually I have a lot of patience. I've been doing this for years. I want to go to school for space, but can't do it. Why not, Luna? Thank you for the gift. I think. Hey, Jim, Tom, how you doing? Good to see you, man. How did they draw almost accurate maps in the 1500s when we didn't have satellites? They had a lot of really interesting tools. You should look up the tools they were using. The answers are out there for you. Like we use different tools now. They used different tools then. Pen and paper. Do you know how to write cursive? Do you know a time before the internet? Because I do. I grew up before the internet. We did a lot of things without the internet. Do light pollution filters work on the newer LED street lamps? One of my friends who does astronomy says they only work with those older yellow sodium street lights, not the newer LED ones, which is common where I live. I don't know. Thank you for the gift, but I don't know. I think I've seen LED light filters though, like specifically for that thing. I'll talk to my astronomy community, which is in my Discord. If anybody, it's in the description, the invite, if you want to join the Discord tonight. That'd be amazing. I think the Discord would love an influx of people. So you should all go to right now, all of you, Go to the description of this video. And if you have Discord, click the invite and just swarm my mods there. I would love that. They'll hate me, but I'm gonna love it, and I think the community would love it too. But we can look over that for like the, because that's a good point. Like the LEDs, you know. Money plus life, 24 right now. 87 was in 4th grade when we got the net. Yeah, I think we had Commodore 64s in middle school for me. I was 84. I'm 41 now. And in high school, we went from writing essays to typing them in the middle of high school. And then I got into audio engineering, and I went to like school for it and everything. Went on tours and all this, and it was all analog. And then it switched over to digital consoles. So like I went to school for all this analog stuff, but digital was coming in, so I had to learn both. So like I got like a little bit of the early stuff mixed with the newer stuff in my life, you know. Shout out to Trisha. Shout out to Oregon Trail. Oh, if you double tap the screen, does that like the live? Be sure to drop a like on the live, guys. And if you're enjoying this tonight, consider subscribing. I do make a lot of content. Some very talented scientists, PhD, doctors, stuff, authorities in the matter. Sometimes I take you guys to Florida and we do some rocket launches live. I've done rocket launches through telescopes live. It's a lot of fun. It just some really cool adventures. Later on this year, I'm taking you guys near Area 51 live, and we're going to do some astronomy near Area 51. That'll be a cool one. So if you like this kind of stuff, be sure to subscribe and like the live, guys. Sunspots, yeah, we got 4168 and 4165 right now. And 4168 is like a pair of them. The one kind of went out today, but 41, they're right in the center, like a triangle, okay? They're kind of moving over to the right on the sun as the sun rotates. Yes, the sun rotates, actually at different speeds. But yeah, there were some CMEs. They're going to graze Earth. But unfortunately, even though the side of the sun aiming directly at us, ooh, we're getting a little cattywampus here. Hold on. Gotta just readjust the, oh, that's because I was doing the wrong thing there again. I was doing the pinch zoom, not the optical. I keep losing track of that. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, here we go. So even though the sunspots have been aimed directly at Earth, like right in the center of the sun would be directly at us when we look at the sun, and they released huge coronal mass ejections with particles and plasma burst off into space 3,000 miles a second or whatever. The issue is the sun has aims its coronal mass ejections kind of like a stormtrooper, and it's just like shooting off instead of at Earth. But if it did shoot at Earth, we could get another geomagnetic storm with those huge auroras, and that's what I'm hoping for because we're still in solar maximum. You know. Lowell's Observatory one day. I would love to, Ray. I've been to Griffith and a few other on the East Coast, but in Colorado, I'm going to be in Colorado a few times this year, later this year, into the late summer into fall. I'll be in Colorado a few times. Where's Lowell at? I'm an astronomer, astronaut. Colorado's cheap to fly into, that's why. It gets me out to the west, because I'm in Pennsylvania, cheaply. Actually, Denver, Vegas, Dallas, LA, Palm Springs Airport's even cheap to get to if you book in advance. You're talking like $100 flights if you book like 2-3 months in advance. That's why I tend to go there, rent cars or RVs, and travel from there. Just because it's cheap. Cleveland is cheap. Atlanta, You go to the major hubs and fly on Wednesdays. Thank me later. You wouldn't see the lights this far out. I don't know what you're talking about. I might be missing some of the conversation. Trying to get this phone to get back on track here. It's being a little weird. Maybe this will help us. John. No. Oh, well, maybe. Okay. John Sampson asks, has AI enhanced your astronomical endeavors? If so, what has AI allowed you to do that you haven't been able to do before? Two things. One, my website. I have some AI stuff driving my website. So if you go to my website, you see, I think the sun plugin's broken, but you can see everything going on with the moon, its phase, its illumination, all of that, its distance from the center of Earth at any given moment in time. And then I have the sun, kind of space weather and aurora forecasts and stuff. Then I have the latest in space news and the latest in like NASA photo of the day stuff. But it's also, it's like the web design thing uses AI. So instead of like building a website, you prompt it and it builds your website. So that has helped. The other thing is like ChatGPT and stuff. I will have it summarize current events for me and find the information I'm looking for. Basically, have it Google for me, so I don't have to sit there and Google things. And it does it really quick. And it's been pretty accurate. So those two things have helped. But as far as like visually and using my gear and stuff, no, not at all. AI doesn't help at all. It's just helped with collecting information as quickly as possible. Because a lot of times, you know, this isn't all I do. You know, it's not my job yet. I'd like it to be one day, but I'm working and doing other things, and then I need to like make a video, go live, post that, and do this. And it's nice to have something quick and easy that I can just be like, get me this information now, and it does it, and then I have it. You know? Yeah, to see the flag on the moon, you're going to need a telescope about a half mile to a mile wide. There isn't one on Earth. Luna, thank you so much. Love the content. Hope all is well. And any words of wisdom for wannabe astronomers? Gonna watch, listen more, but hope this helps for new cam. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. That really does help towards the new camera. Okay. Wisdom for wannabe astronomers, get some binoculars. Okay, they're not that much, 50 to 100 bucks. Get some binoculars. Then see how often you actually go outside and look at the night sky. See how in love with it you are. If you find yourself doing it a lot, then it is absolutely worth getting into. But I strongly suggest testing the waters. Get out there and do it. Also, get involved with astronomy communities. One great community is mine, the Discord, that you can get into in the description of this video. Okay? Now, currently, everybody's got to be 18 plus in there. So any kids, sorry, maybe tell your parents to join. But it's adults, it's respectful, and it's pretty cool. And if you're looking to really get into it, you fall in love with it, we can help you find the right pieces of equipment. And I have a full-blown free telescope buying guide on my website that helps you avoid common mistakes from when all of these other astronomers, including myself, started the hobby. And the mistakes we made, you can learn from all of those. So like, get involved with a community like that. You might be nervous at first and be like, oh, I don't know all this stuff, but you'd be surprised just how much you do know. You'd be surprised. It's a really wonderful, amazing community. Globally too. I mean, like this year I'm going to some star parties. People from around the country go there with their telescopes. You never met these people before, but when you walk up to them, it's like you've known each other your whole lives because you all have something in common, you know? They're really polite, nice people. Can you see Uranus or Neptune from Earth using that telescope? I've seen Uranus through my telescope. Don't take that the wrong way. Let the Uranus jokes commence. Go ahead. Let it out of your system, everybody. Let out the Uranus jokes. Did you know it could be right? Did you know it's raining diamonds the size of people on Uranus and Neptune? Did you guys know that? It rains diamonds the size of people. So yes, I've seen Uranus, but no, I've not seen Neptune or Pluto. Those two planets, I've yet to get through this, but I have gotten those two planets through my astrophotography stuff, but not a live video view. All right, right here, there's three little dark dots. Do you see them? Right out on with a white dot in the center going across the top of the screen in a triangle. You see them? That spot was one of the Ranger impact missions. It was an original location they were thinking of landing Apollo, and we actually shot the Ranger missions at the moon. And they were so poorly aimed back then, we called it like shoot and miss project because it was just we were shooting like stormtroopers. But we impacted a spacecraft. We impacted the spacecraft, just like plowed them into the moon. And right here along top of the screen, those three dark areas, right in there, is where one of the Rangers landed. And coincidentally enough, just to the right is the cat on the moon, just upside down, that dark area, the ear and stuff. Pretty cool. Yeah, the Ranger missions, they were pretty funny because we were so bad at it, we just kept missing the moon. We like shoot a spacecraft, okay, we're gonna do an impact test, go. And the freaking spacecraft would just like go past it. It was so rough. But I mean, imagine being the first people to send things into space. You know, it was pretty amazing what humans have accomplished. You know, hello world. Can you send greetings to Kurdistan? Greetings. You've said it 3 times now. 4 times is a play with. Actually, I think 3 times is a play with. Slow down, chill. The cats have invaded the moon too. It's over. I have 2 ginger girl cats, sisters, Astro Kitty and Space Kitty. I show them in a lot of videos. Well, I show Astro Kitty in a lot of videos. Are there satellites near the moon? Yeah, we have some spacecraft going around the moon. NASA just said the one thing just failed. A moon satellite, I think it was, just failed like yesterday or 2 days ago. That was kind of sad. No, David, they're just trolling you. They're just trolling you. I'm using an Orion XT8 Dobsonian. The make and model is in the description of the video. The eyepiece is my favorite part because this eyepiece, okay, if we zoom out, I think, there we go. Look at that. This is all the way zoomed out. Now, I'm not pinch zooming at all. This is an 8 to 24 millimeter eyepiece. So this is at 24 millimeters. And then I can just twist it to get to 8 millimeters, which is so useful when we're doing like from the moon to like stars or planets and stuff. But when you do zoom, and it adds more lenses in there, and when you add more lenses, you lose light. So the more you magnify, the less light you have to work with. Now, good thing, the moon is super bright, but if this is a dim planet and you use the zoom, you start to lose light and the planet starts to disappear. But here, we're going from 24 down to 8. So we get to that magnification just by twisting the eyepiece, which comes in so handy. I'm gonna get the top and bottom have that blue hue. I don't like it. Okay, there we go. I think that's a little better. Now I can pinch zoom on the screen. Saw the live late just logged in. It's all right. We're doing a long one tonight. Now I can zoom into here. I think that's max, but as you can see, it just blows up pixels. Each one of those pixels you're seeing is about 2-3 miles across, each pixel, each tiny little pixel. So we're still pretty zoomed out, but you can see it's just blowing up pixels at this point. Not a lot of clarity. But if you back out just a little bit, like right there, you can find like a nice sweet spot, clean it up, and there you go. And we're on the moon. Feels like we're like flying around the moon, you know? Now that movement you're seeing of the moon is Earth rotating too, by the way. Now see along that top edge, the wibble wobble, rainbowy craziness, that's atmospheric disturbance. The colors you're seeing is from the mirror of the telescope, but the waviness that you see all over the moon, but especially along that edge, is from the atmosphere and the moon being low in it. John Sampson has a question. Can you see any of the draft planets? Also, do you have any advice for newbies in places with light pollution? Can equipment mitigate the effects? Yes, you can mitigate the effects, especially with brighter objects like the moon. The moon would look just like this in this. I've done the moon in LA. It looks just like this. As far as dwarf planets, is that what you mean? Dwarf, not draft, I'm guessing. I can see Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, but I've yet to see Neptune and Pluto through this telescope. I have been able to see Jupiter's moons, Io, Callisto, Europa, and Ganymede, the 4 Galilean moons. We see those through this telescope. And we see the striations of Jupiter. We see the rings of Saturn, and even see Titan on Saturn. And sometimes on a clear night, we'll see Theia, another moon of Saturn. But Saturn has like 257 moons or something crazy now. They just added 100 more. But I can't see all of those. So dwarf things and stuff, depending on how far they are and how bright they are. But you can see a couple star clusters, globular clusters. On a clear night, the ideal viewing conditions with Andromeda, we could see Andromeda live through here, the Orion Nebula live through here. But none of what you're seeing on the screen even comes close to when I put my eye into the eyepiece. At that point, it all becomes insane. This is like 10% the quality if my eye was on the telescope. Just saying. Cameras through the telescope just don't do it justice. You put your eye through a large Dobsonian like this, you see so much more. So I don't have a ton of experience on this telescope looking at a bunch of like things like that. I usually check out like my favorites, like Saturn, Jupiter, the moon. But with the moon, I can't look on the phone if I took off the phone and I put my eyeball onto the eyepiece, it would hurt my eye. I would get an instant headache. I need to put a moon filter on because it's too bright, like moon sunglasses basically, because the moon's so bright it hurts your eye through this telescope. And then I use a solar filter when we look at the sun. If you didn't do that, you could permanently damage your eyes within a snap of a finger just looking through it. I've lit pieces of paper on fire from the eyepiece on the sun to just show people how dangerous it is. That's what. Thanks, Dante. I have no idea what that means, but I like it. You know, I'm happy you went burr. Should I purchase a used telescope from Goodwill? You can if it's a nice telescope. I've seen a lot of good ones from places like that. But astronomy clubs usually have some used ones for sale, and the internet has some used ones for sale. But the thing about telescopes, like I strongly suggest joining my Discord. It's in the description if you're an adult, and we can help you get telescopes and stuff. There's so many different options, and the thing is they make telescopes for objects and not for people. There's no like one size fits all. The monkey has a hat because it's the difference of a bicycle because a vest has no sleeves. Okay, Dante? That's your answer. All right. That's just the way it is. Saturn doesn't rise yet, Mamad. Thank you for the gifts tonight, guys. And thanks for the likes on the live. And be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss when I go live. Because as the moon gets like almost an hour later and later every night, Little less, like 45 minutes. Later and later every night. My schedule's always changing. I tend to follow the moon, right? So the moon's getting later and later right now. So the live streams after the full moon Friday night are going to start being like starting at 1, 2 a.m. through sunrise kind of stuff. So if you're up, can't sleep or something, I might be live. So be sure to subscribe. And just dropping a like on the live helps push this out if you don't want to subscribe to me. That's cool too. Pillars of creation with my equipment? Yeah, yes, I can. I can photograph it. Not a live video feed though. I cannot do live video feed of a lot of the deep sky objects. A handful of them I can, but those have to be photographs because you have to collect all that light like I was talking about. That's why you take those long exposures because they're so dim. You have to sit there sometimes for hours collecting light just to see the image. So like, 30 frames per second, you're not going to see it. You're not collecting enough light. Ooh, I saw another bird go by. Telescope to see the moon like this, probably at least a 6-inch Dobsonian. This is an 8-inch. I advise against a 10-inch Dobsonian and just go straight to a 12-inch if you're going big. So I would like, if I were to start over, I'd do a tabletop 4-inch Dobsonian that sits on a table, and then I would do the 8-inch Dobsonian that I have, and then I would go for a 12-inch Dobsonian. That's the big guy. And I will eventually have a really giant telescope, guys, that we're going to do lives on. I'm saving up for that too. So I'm thinking it's going to be 18 to 30-inch Dobsonian. It's probably going to be about 8 feet long. And I'm going to need a ladder to collimate it. Saturn hasn't risen yet. It rises in a few hours, though. We'll get there, guys. But Flagstaff, Arizona. Oh, I'm gonna be driving through Flagstaff later in September. Maybe I'll swing by there. That'd be a good stop on the road trip because I'm filming for the series on that. So that would be a good thing for the series coming out, Exploration Earth and Space. Swinging by an observatory like that. I'll have to contact them and see if I can organize it because we're all like itineraried out for it. I want to see meteor craters so much too, but I feel like I used to live in Phoenix for like a year and a half, and I went to Flagstaff and Sedona like once. I never went to the Grand Canyon when I lived out there and stuff. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like college age, and I was in school like partying with my friends. I wish I'd have done that. Laos Observatory, where they first found Pluto. Do you guys think Pluto's a planet or not a planet? What do you guys think? Are you guys protesting the Pluto decision that it's no longer an official planet? Yeah, the white dots are impacts from asteroids. Let me tell you about the asteroids. Dwarf planet, mooncake, planet. Oh, I think a lot of people say planet. So when I zoom in here, okay, you're going to see all these white dots. Those are just craters, just like the other craters, but they're younger, meaning they happened more recently than the older ones. There's a good spot right down here, I think. Yeah, where you can see some darker ones right down there. See, some are dark next to light ones. So the darker ones just mean they're really, really old. And I mean, when we say young, it's still like million to a billion years, and old meaning like 4 billion years. But the sun will dull the lunar regolith and make it go a little darker and gray. It dulls over time. But when they get an impact, it's like fresh regolith stirred up and it's bright. Like there's a really bright one. Then my favorite crater on the whole moon is coming in on the right there. Super bright. There's like a plateau there and everything. It's really cool. Yes, Erikan Badu. We are looking through a telescope. My name is Nate. I do space and live astronomy. I go by SunshineNate online. And basically, I show you live views of whatever we can see in the night sky through my telescope. You guys get to check out the moon tonight through a telescope, and we're almost a full moon. It'll be full Friday night into Saturday morning. And yeah, you're looking through a telescope. John Sampson, thank you for the gift. And you say, have you ever tried making your own telescope, or do you make custom apparatuses for your rig? I don't do anything custom, but my friend does 3D print some things, little clamps and adapters and like pieces that you need for some things. Because when you get into astrophotography, it's a lot more than just a telescope and a camera. Right now, it's going on a telescope. Pretty simple, right? Astrophotography, you got power supplies. A lot of it's 12 volt. You have motors, and then on the actual telescope, there's all these things you're adding, like like finder scope, and then like star tracking stuff and software and a computer and the camera and the cooler for the camera and then dew heaters, and you end up like needing little, because you're like hodgepodging together like your ultimate rig for what you want to do, which is one of the coolest things. It's there's like full custom stuff with us, like astrophotography. So like you build your own rig piece by piece, and that's where sometimes you just 3D print some rings and things that make this part fit with this part and stuff like that. I didn't go to college. I went to a trade school for audio engineering, and ended up going on tour with like rock bands for like a decade or so, and then just worked in the pro audio event industry for the next 15 years, like 25 years in the entertainment industry of like concerts and touring and stuff. Wow, the video is looped. No, it isn't, Wanda. Is that a loop? Is that a loop? I don't think so. Silly goose. Go somewhere else with your skepticism. I don't even know how to fake this. Take that. I'm too old for that crap. Have you ever spotted exoplanets? No, I've never spotted them, but that's a great question. I know some of the people that work for JPL doing the exoplanet stuff. What was that? Was there something? I thought I saw something. I thought I saw a satellite for a second. It's a little. Satellites will be these little. It almost looks like a mini ant go across your screen. Usually right to left from this view, because usually they're left to right in the south. So it'd be right to left on this view. They look like these tiny little black dots that go across our satellites. I'm not ignoring you, Joe. There's just a lot of questions, and I just can't answer everybody. You know, Prentice Knowlton at JPL, nice. ESP, that's sweet. Pro Tools or Ableton, both. I got trained and certified on both. And Logic, and a lot of TC electronic gear. And then I was a dealer for all the major speaker manufacturers. I even worked designing speakers for a while. I designed some of the speakers in Radio City Music Hall and built them. 25 years pro audio, up and down the East Coast mostly. Worked with like Sound Image and Solid Rock and all the big tour companies. But then I kind of got burned out of the music and rock and all that, and I went like 10, 15 years ago, kind of slowly switched into just doing corporate stuff, corporate and Netflix movie stuff and things like that. Whereas it was a lot more laid back and not so away from home all the time. And then, we had the pandemic, and then I finally got to do my hobby, astronomy. And then I'm like, you know what? I wonder if I can make this like my job now. And it's starting to get there. It's not there yet, but I've been doing it 5 years now since the pandemic, and it's starting to compete with the work. Still doesn't make as much as work does, though. But I think it's possible if I just keep at it and stay consistent and keep going and keep sharing and I'm learning too as I go, mainly from all your questions because some of them I don't know, so I have to go look it up and then I learn it and then the next time you ask, I have the answer. Are there other planets the scope can zoom in on? Not currently. Saturn later tonight, and I might be back out live around in about 3 hours. Thank you, Alexandra, and thank you for the super chats, guys. I really appreciate it. Is the moon hollow? No. Hello, other. Oh, your name's Erica. That's gonna. Okay, now I see the Erica. Eryka. I did not know how to say your name before. Sorry, that doesn't look like the moon. Really? What do you guys think? Does that look like the moon? I mean, it kind of looks like the moon to me. Yeah, I think it's around 400,000. Mom, go to SunshineNate.com and tap the moon tab, and it'll tell you exactly how far the moon is from the center of Earth. If you go to my website and tap the moon tab, it'll tell you how much it's illuminated, and it updates every few minutes. Guam, nice. You ever seen a live impact on the moon? I've seen one, but I've never captured one. My friend Deep Sky Dude got one. Some astronomers over in Japan got one. There's even one this last year somebody got. It was little bright flashes. They're pretty cool looking, but they're real little bright flashes. No, haven't seen an impact like Tycho up here. You know Tycho, that big one. Nothing like that. But like little flashes and stuff. Yeah, those have been caught by astronomers. I haven't been lucky enough to get one yet, but man, I hope to. That would be so cool. You know? Can you see anything at all that proves humans were there? Can you see anything at all that proves humans were there? Can you see anything at all that proves it? Joe, buddy, that is the most annoying thing. Yes, Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, but for my telescope, I can't get that kind of resolution. No ground telescope can get that kind of resolution. Look at this. If I zoom in all the way, okay, each pixel on your screen is 4 or 5 miles across, okay? You're not going to see, you barely even see the pixels. But just because I have a telescope doesn't mean I'm a psyop. It means I like astronomy. People like you come in here and spam this, like, and I don't get it. Go look up the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. It has captured the images of the landing sites. But if you don't believe that we send spacecraft into space, then there's nothing I can do for you. And it's not my job to change your mind. It's yours. No, it wasn't that hard to answer a simple question. You were just spamming and it's annoying. Maybe just don't be annoying. And people will have more patience with you. The moon needs Harold and his purple crayon. Who's Harold and his purple crayon? Is that a cartoon? Yeah, some of the craters are super, like Tycho up there near the top, which is actually the bottom because this does flip the image, but up here on the top, visually what we're seeing, I think that's like, ooh, whoa, settle down there. All right, I think that's like 65 miles across or something. I think the moon's diameter is like 2,200, but that's the moon's diameter, right? 2,200 miles, I think. But that would be a straight line through the moon. But I think if you look at the surface of what we see, we're seeing it wrap around to the sides, so it's even further what we see because it's wrapping around. That you can take the lower 48 of the United States, okay, and wrap it across the face of the moon there and see all 48 states. Pretty cool. Yeah. You could wrap the lower 48 straight across and it would go like almost edge to edge. So that kind of gives you an idea of scale. So if that was the United States we're looking at, the width there, because it's wrapping around, remember that, to the edges. So we zoom in. How much do you think we just zoomed into? Not that much now that you think about it, huh? And if we go in even further, I don't even know if I can get this focused. Yeah, even there, you would, like those little lights and stuff would be like towns. That crater up there would be like a big town. So to get into something the size of a flag is insane. And I think it would give us better perspective of what we're looking at if we had a telescope on the moon looking back at Earth to see how much it could see. And it'd be like, man, I zoomed in and I almost made out Florida. I think we've placed reflectors on the moon, which scientists can bounce lasers off to get the exact distance of the moon. I might be no, you are correct, John. There are little moon mirror grids they place there, and NASA has lasers that know their exact location and can bounce the lasers off, so they know the precise distance from the Earth. Now, did you guys know the moon is moving away from Earth? It's slowly moving further and further away. And the speed it's doing is like a centimeter, I don't know how much a year, but it's about the same speed your fingernails grow. So really slow. But those mirror lasers, John, that you brought up, that's how we figured that out, was with those. Because they were like, oh, why is it getting a little further away, you know? Yeah, the moon is moving across the screen visually, but the actual movement is us spinning. That's the movement you're seeing. The moon is orbiting Earth in the same direction we spin, and we're spinning faster than it's orbiting us. That's the movement you see. Freaks me out. My fingernails grow fast AF. Now, Bernoulli's going to have existential crises. He's going to be looking at the moon and his fingernails. He's like, no. What does it? Well, the moon's, it's going to take a very long time for the moon to do that. I think the sun will be dead long before the moon escapes us. I think the sun has about, what, 4.5 billion years left? It'll take longer than that for the moon to escape. But the sun will eventually run out of its hydrogen, where it's doing nuclear fusion of hydrogen into helium right now. And it'll start burning off the helium, at which point it will turn red and grow really, really big. And the edge of the sun will probably reach about where Mars is. But the mass of the sun will be so low compared to what it is now, Earth will probably just be flung out into the cosmos, into the galaxy. We'll become like a rogue planet just floating through the Milky Way. And then the sun, once it's out of the helium, it shrinks way down, really dense, to something about the size of Earth, as like a little white dwarf, I think. Like a little, yeah. And then it just will cool for millions or billions of years after that. Well, we got 4.5 billion years, guys. We got to do something before then, all right? We got some time. It rings like a bell when hit. Do you know the story of that? I do. So what happened is we did impact tests. We did the Ranger missions and stuff, but we had a seismograph thing, like they measure earthquakes with. And the moon is rock. It's solid rock. And we did an impact test, and that seismograph just kept going for a little while. And the guy said, as a metaphor, the seismograph rang like a bell. The moon didn't actually make a sound like a bell. The seismograph rang like a bell. It was a metaphor. That's the story. And people People don't look past the statement. They're just like, no, it's a bell. It's hollow. It's like, no, you guys got to read the story. Read it. Just read. I know it's hard. It's 2025. We don't like to read anymore, but you can do it. I believe in you. Hey, Brittany, how you doing? Welcome in, guys. If it's your first time here, my name is Nate. I go by SunshineNate online, and I do space and live astronomy. Right now, you're looking live at our nearly full moon through my 8-inch Dobsonian telescope. It's about 4 feet long, 8-inch diameter, costs about $650 when it was new, but Orion's no longer in operation. But if you want a comparable model, just look for 8-inch Dobsonians. I do have a telescope guide on my website or in my channel profile. Free telescope guide for anybody interested in getting into this hobby and checking out the night sky with telescopes, binoculars, and stuff like that. But all my content is around space and astronomy like this. So if this is your jam, drop a like and a sub on my channel because I ain't going anywhere and I do this all the time. Moon looks like tin foil in a ball, kinda. I think it looks more like a peeled orange though, honestly. I really do. And the man on the moon, everybody's always talking about the man on the moon, right? Over here. All right, this area right here. Okay. Whoa, that was a weird color thing. Okay, he's upside down, but that's like the man on the moon, right? But see the little large lava bed off to the left, because those are all ancient lava beds? The little one down on the left by itself, that's the bowling ball. It looks like a guy bowling, or a lady, I don't know, a person bowling is what I always see. I don't see a man on the moon, I see a person bowling. And the only problem is we can't see the pins because they're on the other side of the moon, which is annoying. We should get a spaceship, all of us. We'll go out there and explore this together. We'll do a live stream from Tycho Crater up there. I've never caught anything hitting the moon, but a lot of my friends have. And I'm very jealous of it. Thanks for bringing it up. There's videos out there though, you can check it out. Little asteroids hitting the moon, little flashes and stuff. It's pretty cool. A lot of astronomers have captured it over the years. Have you ever seen anything you couldn't explain? Yes, and it is the latest post on my channel posts. So if you look at my channel, I put that video up there today because I get asked that a lot, and it's too hard for me to say, search SunshineNate object, then look for the moon video. Like, I put it in my channel post. So you can go watch it and come back and let me know what you think it is. I think it was like a weather balloon or something, but it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And it came across the moon, just this white orb. A Nikon P1000, no, I'm just using a 8-inch Dobsonian telescope. P1000s have wicked zoom though, don't they? Didn't they stop selling those? I thought they stopped selling those. Or can you still get them? I know those were like the flat earthers camera of choice because it's the cheapest camera on the market with the most zoom. Really shows their dedication. What channel? Ray, okay, I don't know what it looks like for you, but if you can get to my YouTube channel page where you see SunshineNate, blah, 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 there's like me with the auroras and a hand heart. And then there's tabs that say like videos, shorts, live, and then there's one that says posts. You tap on the post tab and the latest post tab has the video linked in it. I think you tap on my profile icon, but I don't see my profile icon. I don't know what it looks like for you guys. Oh my God, please answer the person that won't stop asking why your moon looks... Oh, there was a bird that just ran through flew through your comment. The moon looks upside down because it is. The telescope flips the image upside down, 180. It's just 180 spin, flip. Tycho Crater is at the bottom where I live too. It's a reflector telescope. Some telescopes don't flip the image, some flip it side to side, and some flip it upside down. This is upside down. So we're basically looking at the moon as if we were in Australia right now. Just pretend we're in Australia, because that's what the moon would look like, because they're pretty much upside down. We're close to it. They're not the other side of the Earth from U.S. Everybody always thinks that, but they're not. It's like a different area. I remember growing up always thinking Australia was the opposite side. Why doesn't the moon shave? Because it waxes. Okay, John. Okay, John. You win. That was a good one. Thank you. I needed that. Are you using the YouTube app to live stream this? Yeah, the YouTube Live mobile. When I do these the Dobsonian, it's just my phone, and the Dobsonian gives the best view. For astrophotography and my tracker setups and deep sky stuff, I use OBS and a bunch of other tools and cameras and things like that, and it's way more complicated. But for like my daily stuff, I usually just use my phone and my telescope, and I keep it real simple so I can do it really quick and efficiently. And you know, oh Wayne, did you see it? Difficult to tell what the orb was. Wayne saw it. Sweet. See what I mean, Wayne? I don't know what it was. That was the weirdest thing I ever saw. My best guess, because I've seen birds, planes, satellites. I've never seen anything like that, which makes me think a weather balloon. But when it happened, I looked on the weather balloon app. There was no weather balloons in my area, not even within like 500 miles of me. Yeah, very cool, right? Yeah. So I had a bunch of astronomers with me, and we all looked at all the trajectories of satellites. There was nothing in the area at the time, and this was before Starlinks, I think, were as crazy as they are now. Because now, if you look up, you just see Starlinks everywhere, constantly moving. If you blew up the moon, there would be no bad weather or human life. If you blew up the moon, that would be like catastrophic. That would not be a fun time. The oceans alone would probably go bonkers, and you know, we're in like this cosmic harmony with the moon and Earth. We're really lucky to have the planet we have, honestly. We won the lottery, guys, and we're alive on this planet. We won the lottery. How far away from cities should I get in order to see the sky this clearly? Further the better. But even in the city, you can see bright things like the moon, Jupiter, Saturn, and some of the bright stars like Vega, Arcturus, Spica. But the further you go away from city lights, the more you could just see a lot more. I can't describe it. You get all the way out to Bortle 1 skies, like in the desert and stuff. You look up, you see the frickin' Milky Way over your head. You just see it. It's right there. So if you haven't before, I challenge all of you to at least go visit a dark sky spot sometime and look up at the night sky. I think it will completely blow your mind. And I live out in the sticks, so I'm around Bortle 3, Bortle 4 skies where I live. So I don't have to deal with a lot of light pollution. Okay, King Lou saw it too. Thanks, Ray Ray, but just ignore him, Ray Ray. Just ignore him. If I see him, don't worry, I handle it, and they'll never know because it's hide user from channel, and they don't even know they're blocked. They'll sit there talking all night, and none of us will ever have to see him again, and they won't even know. It's a beautiful thing, so just ignore him. But if I see him, don't worry, I take care of it. Thanks for the entertainment. Very cool. Have a happy night. Hey, have a good night, Wayne. And thanks for checking out that video. And thanks for liking the live, guys, because I'm going to get going here shortly, too. You should do a live where you only respond to skeptics. Oh, ethical outlaw. You want me to get just raging. It's not skeptics. That's not what they are. They're rage baiters. A skeptic actually has ears that work and listen. These people don't, you know? You can't talk to somebody that doesn't listen. That's the problem. Hey, thank you, John. Thank you, everybody. And if you have Discord and are an adult, description of this video has our Discord community invite. We don't let underage people in there. Just saying. Sorry, but that's our policy. Um, but yeah, I'll probably be live back here in a couple hours with Saturn. So if you don't want to miss something like that, be sure to subscribe. And if you haven't already, please drop a like on the live and take a screenshot of the moon and send it to somebody you care about, all right? All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we will see you soon.